Okay, well, this evening, good hello to everyone. We're here with Father Antonio Porcellato, who is the newly elected Superior General for the Society of African Missions. And Tony has just spent a week with us in our meetings trying to discern our future. He has been to a number of meetings, we call them assemblies already, and I'm sure he's very exhausted, and yet at the same time, he must be, hopefully he's being energized, but everything that he sees, the interaction and the dynamics of people talking about the future. We all get excited about the future. So I'm going to ask Father Antonio what he sees the future after these assemblies you've been to. What is inspiring you? What is making very clear a vision of a future for the SMA?
Well, the SMA now is a group of missionaries. We are about 750. Some of them are retired, some are sick, but a good number are young. Most of them are from Africa and Asia, India especially. And beside these 750, we are about 300 seminarians in students from the preparatory program till the last year of theology. 300, which is a good number and a good challenge also for their formation. So what will be the future of this group? It is a group which is from different continents. We have a part of it are from Europe, still a majority. We have a group from Africa, and it is the biggest group with energies, maybe 250 young priests. A smaller group from Asia, and a smaller again from America, especially Northern America, very few from South America. And the future is the collaboration between this group of missionaries. We have now, after this assembly, we have now 27 units, 15 provinces, 8 districts, 4 delegations. And no one of this unit is self-sufficient, neither in personnel, nor in finance, nor in perspective of pastoral work. But with the help of each other, we have a lot of challenges that we can take, especially, let's say, in Africa, but also both in Europe and in America, and even in Asia. This, let's say, the future is collaboration, first of all.
It's interesting you say we're so many units, and they're not any longer one like Americans in America and Europeans, and people could see that as a disadvantage. I ask you, how do you see the interaction? I'm sure you saw a lot of it here, and in the other places you've been, you see the Africans or people from Benin and Nigeria, Liberia, interacting with the French and the Irish, and so how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel it is a challenge and hope for all of us. First of all, we can say, usually we say, Europe can bring experience, can bring assets, finance. Africa can bring energy and numbers, many new missionaries. Now, from now on, we count about 20 new priests, 25 even in the next years, every year, 25 new ordinations. And Asia also brings some other aspects, because if Europe has a colonial past, and this can influence its attitude towards Africa, India or other other Asian countries, they have a kind of neutral attitude towards Africa, and their motivation to go to Africa for evangelization, for planting the church, is free from this frame of the past, and this brings a kind of stimulus to others for right motivations to go to Africa. So there is an interaction, and I think our formation, which brings our students, all of them in 3 or 4 countries during their 9 or 10 years of formation. This formation makes a kind of open and flexible mentality, vision, openness, habit, being used to welcome people, to be ready to settle in a different context, cultural context, being able to eat food both from East or West Africa, from Europe, knowing how to move in a city of Europe. So this kind of easiness with international life, I think, is one of the characteristics of our formation, which is good, and allows also a freer and truer interaction among all the members. It's not easy, but I think this is a real achievement, and many people that we meet are amazed of this capacity of living together, working together, of the SMA members all over. I'd say this is one of the things that is striking me.
So I don't know if you realize, Father Antonio, he's Italian. You can tell by his hand gestures constantly, you know. And a lot of the gestures were going out. He kept talking. You can see there's a lot of energy in what he wants to do. So they're newly elected. He's on the administration and the generalate before. So he has experience. He has experience in Africa. For this next year, what is giving you energy right now? What do you see yourself going out?
Well, first of all, I am in Rome, and I think I have around me a good council. I know well 2 of my councillors, because we work together 4 or 6 years, and the third one, also the 4th member of the council, is from Poland, Christoph, and I know him as well. I think he will also bring good experience from his own country, his experience in Africa. So this gives me a kind of also a bit of security. I know that those collaborators are good and they are helping the whole society. Then what gives me hope is that I can see we have a generation of members between, say, 35 and 45, 50 years of age, who have already good experience also in leadership. I can see their motivations. I can see also the authenticity, the genuinity of their motivations for mission, for the love of the SMA, for reaching out to the most abandoned in Africa. And these people gives me a lot of hopes, because they are those who are now really bringing up and guiding and coordinating all the work of the SMA. This is one of the main points that gives me hope. Of course, we hope in God, but we see that we have people who are prepared and motivated for that.
So we thank you, for being at our assembly and for giving us this time. Any final thoughts you might have, any words to the members of the American province and members of the supporters of SMA?
Well, it is my first time to have a real grasp of the American province during these 5 or 6 days of your Provincial Assembly. I was really well impressed by the variety of the membership of your province now, and also the level of communication and integration among all these members. You have elected a very young leadership, and intercontinental, as we say. Father Ambu is from India, Dermot is from here, from the States, and Father Richard is from Kenya, from Africa. And it is a kind of marvelous combination of different visions, different energies, and this is an asset for the American province. And I think this is one of the labs in the SMA where the new SMA is being modeled, is kind of being giving birth, yeah, in a way. So it is interesting and to be followed, especially that we realize that keeping our primary evangelization mission in Africa, at the same time our charisma is pushing us to find other situations here of announcing the gospel, of being near, reaching out to people, especially maybe people of African origin or migrants here, who for whom there is need of hearing or witnessing the good news for them. So this is one, as I said, one of the fields where we are experiencing, we are challenged to experience new ways to implement our charisma today. Among what gives me hopes is also this newer awareness of collaboration between SMA fathers, missionaries, and other people. I can say the OLA sisters who have the same origin as we have, this kind of feminine expression of our charisma, other sisters, and especially lay associates, lay collaborators, lay volunteers, that they desire to share both our spirituality and our mission. There are different forms of this commitment of lay people around us in different countries. Here in the States there is a good tradition of associates, and we are all of us committed to find the right form for giving to all of them the chance to live out completely and deeply this missionary charisma. This is another hope that gives me, another fact that gives me hope for the SMA and the mission in these days.
Good. Well, thank you very much, and we hope that energy carries through to all the membership of the SMA. Thank you, Father, very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Good job.
Okay.
Thank you.